So here the Lord says, karmanyevadhikaraste. To do action alone is your privilege. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You have no control over the results. Ma karma phala hetu. So let not just the motive of your action be attaining some specific result. Ma te sangvastu akarmani. And at the same time, do not resort to inaction. So now the key of this verse is the word adhikar. See, in Hindi, what is the meaning of the word adhikar? Right. This shloka is written in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, what is the meaning of the word adhikar? Anyone? Eligibility. That's the exact meaning. Eligibility, qualified. So when it is said here, karmanyevadhikaraste, that you are eligible to do action, it does not mean you have right to action but no right to the result. That is a common translation which is generally done. That you have right to action but you have no right to the result. That is absolutely impractical philosophy. I do action and I have no right to result. Then who has the right to result? Geeta does not tell us that. Geeta says, what is in our control? What is our qualification? Do we have that qualification to control the result? We don't have. Karmanyevadhikaraste. To do action is our privilege. We are qualified to do karma. And that freedom we only have. Nobody else in the creation has that freedom. Only a human being has, that I can create my own future. Plants, animals, birds cannot create their future. They can only, including the devatas and the higher beings, none of them can create their own future. They can only enjoy the karma phala of their past. We do both. We go through the karma phala of the past in the present moment, and yet we have a choice of how do I respond to it now. That will create my future. That freedom, that is implied by the word adhikar. That the capacity to do action, to do work by choice is only with a human being. Nobody else has that choice. You think about it. The animals, plants, birds are programmed and they work by instinct. Nature controls every aspect of their life. Maximum you can train them in a certain limited field. So a parrot can repeat what you teach it. Those capacities are inbuilt. But they cannot develop anything new and they cannot be aware. They are not even aware of that. A parrot who is talking, whatever, let us say even if the parrot is reciting the Vedas, the parrot will never feel superior to another parrot who doesn't know it. The parrot doesn't know what it is doing. Self-awareness, to the extent that we human beings have, is not there in the animals. And hence improvement is not possible. Hence conscious choice is not possible. Their choices are also instinctive. What to eat, what not to eat, which is my herd, which is not my herd, which is my enemy, all that is known instinctively. So karmanyevadhikaraste, we have that adhikara, we have that qualification to act. And now that is such a powerful freedom that we have. If you just think about it, what are the types of freedom that we as human beings have? Simple is, we have the freedom of movement with our hands free. Animals are on 4 legs and their spine is horizontal. So it is said the head, heart, stomach, reproductive organs, all are in one line. But for a human being, head is on top, heart is here, then the stomach, then the reproductive organs. So we are supposed to live with this as the highest priority. But we are living in Shirshasana. We don't need to learn Shirshasana, already we are doing. So the idea is this, that we have that privilege of a human being, that freedom. See, the moment we are erect, our hands are free. Not only our hands are free, you will see this, each finger is free, thumb is free. There are some other creatures where there are webs, the webs in between. So it is all only one. So they can't grasp, and it is free. So freedom of movement is there, freedom of grasping is there, freedom of speech is there, freedom of thought is there, freedom to feel what you want is there, freedom of faith is there. In what do I place my faith? That is the source of my security. All types of freedoms we have. What am I doing with that freedom? That is my purushartha, what we call as self-effort. People who recognize this, that I have so much of freedom, and no matter what has been my past, today I can make a different resolve. My future can be entirely different. I have to use this power, this purushartha. Again and again, when this type of festivals they come to us, we invoke grace of God, we invoke the grace of the Gurus, we invoke grace of Mother Nature, different things we invoke the grace, because as human beings we are putting effort, but sometimes our effort gets limited. And the past may be very, very strong, overwhelming and powerful. How do I still overcome that? I need extra source of strength to keep the mind focused, to keep the mind balanced. Otherwise I can just be a victim of the past. Now Deepak Chopra, he says, 55% of thoughts human being drags forward from yesterday to today. Just imagine, 55% of the thoughts if I am dragging, that's an average person. Dragging from yesterday to today, same type of thoughts I am thinking even today. When I wake up in the morning, it is a new day. Or Guruji, Swami Tejomayanand always say, there are two types of people who wake up. First type of fellow who wakes up, he says, good God, morning, oh my God, again one whole day, again go to office, again do... Gets up like that. Already dead in the morning. Second type of person who wakes up, he says, good morning God, this is a new day, fresh with lot of opportunities, I will seize the day, I will do what I want to achieve. Does not drag the past into the present moment. So karmanyevadhikaraste means that I have the power to make my own future by using this present moment. That adhikara, that qualification, nobody else has. And if we did not have that power, no transformation is possible. Just imagine how people are transformed in their lives. Ratnakar becomes a Valmiki. What a transformation. It's because no matter what is the past, that day he took a resolve saying, this is it, that is dead and gone, that's over now. So that adhikara, karmanyevadhikaraste. So what is in our hands, we should put our best effort in doing it. Thinking is in our hands. Based on the right thinking, decision is in our hands. Based on the decision, action is in our hands. These three are in my control. If I control these three, result I don't have to control. But what we do is get obsessed with the result. Start imagining this result I want, how it will be when I get it, and be very attached to the result, and then get anxious if I don't get it, what will happen, then get fear. All those things just drain away the energy. So Bhagavan here he says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have any control on the result. Once the action is done, there is no control we have on the result. The famous example for that is the arrow which is shot. Till the arrow is in my hands, I have the complete power to direct it wherever I want. Stretch it how much ever I want, point it to whichever target I want, leave it with whatever speed I want, entire control in my hand. The moment that arrow is gone, nothing can be done. Later if I realize that the target was wrong, what can I do? It will go and hit. So what is in my hands, I should be very alert. See, first line is to make us absolutely alert in thinking, deciding and acting. If I can become alert in thinking, deciding and acting, success ensured. Alertness is, Gurudev used to always say that, alertness is the price you pay to know the truth. Alert and vigilant living itself is a sadhana. All sadhanas are meant to make us alert, please remember that. If I do japa, it is to make my mind alert that what is going on in my mind. Otherwise, where are we aware of what is happening in the mind? And there is a famous author, maybe you have heard about him, it's called Eknath Ishwaran. He has a nice 8-point program. All his books have that 8-point program. He elaborates that 8-point program, practical program, nice one. In that, one of the books he writes that we don't think our thoughts think us. Whenever they want they come, whenever they want they go, whatever happens in the mind, who is alert, who is aware? If we have that power to control our thoughts, but we are not alert. So if I am doing japa, it is to be alert that my mind is wandering, no, bring it back to this thought. Again it goes, again bring it back to that thought. So I am training my mind to be aware of each and every thought that passes. That improves my alertness. Accidents happen outside, wrong things happen outside, disappointments we meet outside. That is a manifestation of the wrong thoughts already here, which we are not even alert and aware of. And we have entertained them, acted under their influence, and then got something not aware. Then wonder why this happened to me. Because I only entertained it. I was not aware when I entertained it. So the idea is this, that when I do any spiritual sadhana, whether it is puja or japa or breath observation or pranayam, it is to make me aware of my own mind. And with that alertness, if I act, lot of disasters can be saved, lot of energy drainage can be saved. So he says, what is in your hands is action. What is not in your hands is the result. Now why is the result not in our hands? Because the result is governed by lots of cosmic factors. Two teams want to play the match. And both the teams want to win. Both the teams are putting their efforts to win. But the external limitation is one of them has to win. So on that day, who will win? Both the teams are preparing for it. But there is an external limitation, one. There are so many other limitations, so many other hidden forces. Nowadays the game is not one on the field, the game is one off the field. So you have to have those factors also in control. How do you know? Where is the result in our hands? The person may decide and go, or something else only happens. Many external factors, cosmic forces are there, rules of nature are there, government rules are there, society pressure is there, lots of factors are there. In that, where will I be able to control all these? And those things which I cannot control, if I am being anxious for it, it is only draining the energy. So he says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. You have no adhikara on the phala. Meaning you have no qualification to give the result. Who has the qualification then? Ishvara. The totality, the Lord has the qualification because He has the macro picture. Systems are created by Him. And when we say that, it does not mean that Bhagavan gives me the karma phala individually. He doesn't do that. If he starts doing that, he will go mad. For every jiva to give the karma phala, if he has to do. So the system is created, which is what we call as the laws of nature. There are external laws, there are internal laws. Internal laws are the values, ethics, morals, principles. So you do good, you get good result. You do bad, you get bad result. Lots of these things are programmed already. And whether we understand it or not, whether we know it or not, it works. That system works perfectly. How do we know? The moment I do a good deed, externally the result may come whenever in time. Time is another factor which I don't have control. But internally, the satisfaction starts. The moment I cheat somebody, moment I do something wrong, I hurt and violate someone, conscience prick starts. Whether I run away from it or I put it aside and I suppress it, that is a different matter. Or I become insensitive to it and turn my face away, that is a different thing, but it starts. So there are internal laws, external laws, and according to the system, the Lord gives a result. In the Geeta only Bhagavan says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to all beings. Name dveshyosti na priyam. There is no one special to me and nobody I hate. So it is not that if you go to the temple Sola Somvar, you go to that Shivji's temple and you will get a good husband. No guarantee. Then don't lose faith in Shivji. Saying that I wanted a husband like you, Shivji, and I got a bhasma, so now what do I do? Your karma is such, you will get such a thing. You can't help it. So does it mean that prayer has no use? It does. You invoke the special grace of the Lord, and that special action that you are doing, it will have its own consequence. But the point is that it is not that individually Bhagavan is going to be favorable to some, not favorable to some. A system is created. And it goes by that system. That's why it is important to learn the scripture. So we don't have the result in our control. So let us focus on what is in our control. That action is in my control. Intention behind the action is in my control. The decision is in my control. Let me control all those. And that itself is a lot to control actually. Not very easy. So Nike has this line. What is that tagline? Just do it. What is in your control, just do it. What is not in your control, just drop it. Simple. What we do, reverse. What is not in my control, I want to do that. And what is in my control, I drop it. Postpone, procrastinate, don't do now. This is a science of efficient action. Just do it. What is in your control, do. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Never can a man feel helpless. Man meaning a human being. Because I have so much of freedom. Which other creature in the world has that freedom? Nobody else has that freedom. And this man keeps on crying, weeping, feeling miserable. I am a victim of life. Life is very partial. Nothing good is happening to me. God is not there. All kinds of tragedies come to me only. He keeps crying, sobbing. Absolute slave of the circumstances. When this verse is understood, then no matter what has been yesterday, I take charge of my life. My actions will create my destiny. Full stop. Results, I do the action. Result is a bonus. Ma karma phala heturbhu. So don't act only for a specific result. Because if you get attached to that specific result, the energies will get drained. The hetu of karma is very important. For a spiritual seeker, the motive of action is not just the result. The result is the bonus. The motive of action is purification of the self. The mind must become pure. Mind must become focused. Mind must become alert. Did I increase that? My sensitivity, did it increase? My ego pressure, did it reduce? Did I find the joy in the action itself? Could I do the action with complete focus in the present, giving my full self to that action, absorbed in that fully? So if I am able to do all that, that is the purpose of action. There is a nice line, if you want you can note it down. Shankaracharya ji says in Vivek Chudamani, Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma, that the purpose of work is purity of mind. And how do we determine? Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma. Purpose of work is purity of mind. That all the work that I do, did it make me more satisfied, more happy, more integrated, that I could bring my entire personality in one place and perform that action? Did it get me that satisfaction that I am doing what I am meant to do? Did I love that very work that I am doing? If all that is done, that means purity of mind is happening. Now imagine how we work in the world today. Work becomes a cause of stress, worry, tension, anxiety, fear, depression, what not one goes through. Just because I don't know how to handle my action, work. What should be my attitude towards it, and how if I make few readjustments, the same thing becomes a means to my evolution. Otherwise the same thing, I go down in my, what do you call it, devolution. So my evolution stops and I start going down. So that's why it says, what is the hetu? What is the motive of action? Motive of action is not just the result. Result is one, no doubt that a result that we need can bring out the best in me. Because that's the goal that I want to achieve. But the goal, to achieve the goal, is not the purpose. That is a secondary result. And how much we depend on that result, my entire self-image depends on that result. In the world, we always are taught that your work determines your worth. Your work determines your worth. If you perform, very good, you are successful. If you don't perform, you are fired, you are a failure, finished. No doubt at one level that is necessary. But my self-image, why should it depend on that? I am loving, I have a healthy self-esteem, I am worthy of receiving all love, care, attention, no matter what I achieve in the world outside. But the world doesn't operate that way. That's why we see in the world so much of deficiency of love. People craving for love. Because everyone loves because of, not in spite of. You have to do this, then you are good. Right from childhood that programming is done. If you achieve this percentage, then you are the best. Otherwise, you are not good enough. No question of tamas. That's why I told you, if you love that job and if you are constantly inspired to give your best, why will you fall into tamas? When you enjoy the action, you will not fall into tamas. When you know that the action is meant to give me single pointedness, I am supposed to bring my entire potential into play. Plus, I have a goal. Nobody said don't keep a high goal. But don't depend on that goal for self-esteem. Remove this connection. Your work and your worth need not be connected. You are a worthy human being in spite of what you work, what you achieve. How does it matter? You look at this exploitation in the world which has happened. Why has it happened? Countries which are, what you say, rich, prosperous, powerful, why are they dominating on the other countries? Just because of that self-esteem, that we are more powerful than you. Human beings are the same everywhere. Whether a person is a black or a white or a developed country citizen or a developing country citizen, how does it matter? As a human being, and then they all will set up this what you call Human Rights Commission, and they say that humanity and humanitarian rights and it should be equal everywhere. First of all, you create that inequality for no reason, based on power, position, achievement, wealth, all that. Then dominate and then bring about human rights. It works like that. The Eastern culture always said everything is divine, forget human beings. Worship each and everything. Right from a stone onwards, the divinity is there in each and everything. So you are worthy no matter what you achieve. Imagine if somebody has that security in life. Even if some failures come, that person has the strength to handle it without putting oneself down. And if one has that faith in oneself and hope within oneself, nothing is lost. You can rebuild everything again. Otherwise, the moment stock market crashes, my self-esteem also crashes. So my self-esteem depends on the stock market going up and down. How pitiable. And that is a human being who has that freedom not to associate work and work and gets totally dependent. That's why it says, Ma karma phala hetu bhu. Don't attach such undue importance to the result that it makes my self-esteem go up and down. Remember, society will still judge us that way. But are we going to go by society's judgments, or are we going to live a life taking charge of our life by ourselves? That is the question we have to ask. And a strong person, when such a person handles it very well, later on that same society turns around and sings the praise of this man. What a man. In his place, anybody would have crashed, gone into depression and almost died. What is that? There is an expression in English. Some phoenix bird. Phoenix bird rises from the ashes. Like that, he rose from the ashes. Same society will turn around. When I am weak, when I am down in the dumps, nobody is going to come to help me. I need my strength to pull myself up. Where will that strength come from? My right knowledge that no matter what happens in the world outside, I am still a worthy human being. And so what if I made some mistake, or I did not know and I went down? So what? Gurudev loved these two expressions. One is so what. I told you that story about him. One place he was to give a talk in a Rotary Club. And this man was, 2 months back he had come, and Gurudev was writing some letters. He was not patient enough. We were waiting there. Morning time Gurudev writes the letters, it will take him 2 hours to write the letters. So he was sitting there. Now and then he will talk, Swamiji, the talk is there, it is on this date, it is on this time and this place, and we will make this arrangement, this, that. Then he got stuck on one point. He said, Swamiji, what will be the topic? Gurudev is writing the letter. Another 20 minutes passed. Again he said, Swamiji, what is the topic? 5 times he asked him, and the last time he asked him, he said, Swamiji, if we don't have the topic, how will we proceed ahead? Please give us the topic. He said, so what? Continue to write his letter. That man went away. And after 2 months, when Gurudev went there to give the talk, he have written there, Swami Chinmayananda's talk on so what? Imagine you and I go there and suddenly we see the topic is so what? And he started straight. And what a way he started. He said, so what if your wife has run away? So what if your son doesn't listen to you? So what if your business has crashed? So what if nobody loves you in the society? So what? Does it mean that you will die? Does it mean that you should waste your life? Does it mean that you should commit suicide? One whole 10-minute talk on that. Then he turned. He said, so what if you are a millionaire? So what if you are so successful? So what if you have 10 Rolls Royce? So what? One day you are going to die. All this will remain here only. What a topic, how he converted it, my God. He always used to say that, remember, so what? These ups and downs will keep happening in life. In Geeta, we give a lot of importance to samatvam, equanimity. Just remain equanimous. Ups and downs will keep happening. That equanimity is what is the purpose of work. You will see further, Bhagavan will say, samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity, that is peace of mind before work, peace of mind in work, peace of mind after work. If you are doing this, then you are a karma yogi. People have a nice kick, they get in telling themselves, Swami, I don't meditate, I don't come to satsang, but I am a karma yogi. I'm a genuine karma yogi. Many wives, they say, Swamiji, we come to the talks, we attend satsang. My husband doesn't attend any of it, but he is really a karma yogi. Meaning what? He is logging 20 hours in the office. Just because you slog 20 hours in the office, you are not a karma yogi. Machine slogs 24 hours. Karma yogi is one who can maintain this samatvam, equanimity. That is the purpose of work. And remember, till I don't get that equanimity in my life, work has not served its purpose. I will keep getting beaten only. again and again and again. Why? Because the higher I go, the fall from there is more painful. That's why better to maintain the balance. Not that one should not enjoy, but psychological self-esteem should not go up and down. Externally enjoy, it doesn't matter how is it. So, ma karma phala hetu bhuhu says the result, don't get so obsessed with the result. That is not the main motive of action. Main motive of action is with what purity of mind do you act, and the main purpose of action is this purity of mind, equanimity of the mind, selflessness. You know, when Geeta says, now we say, Swamiji, this is all very impractical philosophy, we can't apply in the world today. And then pay some 50,000 rupees and go and sit there in that seminar of Stephen Covey, and he will say, we should have operating in win-win principle. Everybody should be benefited, not only individual. In the benefit of the society is your benefit also. You cannot isolate yourself. So let grow in your selflessness. Share your abundance with people. Dream not only you being abundant, dream that you make your fellow beings also abundant, because in their prosperity is your prosperity. Very good. When we say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, that is old, outdated, 50,000-year-old, some superstitious line. So many people say, Geeta, this shloka especially, they say this is impractical philosophy. Very good. Go pay thousands of rupees and go and learn the same thing. That is more practical. So, ma karma phala hetu bhuhu. Everything that is said in the Gita is repackaged and told in today's management world. Everything. Teamwork, Yajna concept of 3rd chapter is in the Gita. That how you come together as a team, and how a team, when it works, then only the society has to live as a team. You cannot live as an individual. So many such wonderful concepts. So, ma karma phala hetu bhuhu. We don't have anything against the management people, against anybody. There is no problem about that. But we have to become aware what is heritage that we have, that's all. Let anybody use, these are universal principles. So, ma karma phala hetu bhuhu. Do not make the motive of the action the result only. And don't say that because the result I should not be obsessed by, so I will not act. Mate sangostu akarmani. That is a very limited view of result. If I should not worry about the result, then I will not act. Nobody said don't be concerned about the result. Don't be obsessed by the result. And that a person who does will act very, very efficiently. So for right now we stop here and we will watch that video of Gurudev which is about this, the next upcoming verse, which is verse number 49. So what was one, and second is never mind. You know, many times he will crack a joke in the talk. People will not know only that it is a joke. He said never mind. After he says never mind, it will crack them. Arey, ye to joke tha. Or some subtle point would be there, and they will be blank face like that. So never mind. No more. So we learn these two. You know, never mind. Whatever has happened. So what? No more. So this is on verse number 49 of the Gita. Tomorrow we will do 48 and again come back to 49. This video you will find on YouTube also, in the name of how to set your goal.
Dure nahyavaram karma Buddhiyoga dhananjaya Buddhau sharanam viccha Kripana phalahekavaha Dure by far.
Here, avaram, lower karma. You are sweating and toiling and your action. Your selfish action, prompted by your ego and egocentric selfish desires, in which the millions are sweating and toiling from morning till evening. That karma. It is only prompted by instincts and impulse. It is like animals suffering or running about. It is pure labor. It is not the man of action. Mere laborers. Durena, by far lesser, is this unnecessary sweating and toiling in the world outside. Complaining of the tension, stress and strain of life. That is not real work. Work is inspired. Where the worker never understands tiredness, exhaustion. The joy of that work itself replenishes the true worker. Durena kyavaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Hey Arjuna, please understand. As compared with the buddhi yoga, where you have got an ideal and you are pursuing to reach the ideal. It's an inspired enthusiasm with which you are living. That the joy of true work is any day nobler than all the amount of buckets of sweat and toil that you bring out of you, the exhaustion and fatigue you bring about physical. That is only labor. That is not work. Durena, buddhau sharanamandvecha. My dear boy, work in the world outside. Who said no? But buddhau sharanamandvecha. Maintain your ideal and work on it. And when you are maintaining an ideal, it's not the ideal, be a small ideal. Say that $1 million I want. If the moment I earn 1 million, I am retired. Eh? Because you make it. Thereafter as in life you are dead. You have nothing to do. Never keep the goal highest. So high that you will never reach. Swami, why should I keep an ideal which I cannot reach? Reaching the ideal is not the goal. Striving to reach it, that is the moment when you grow. Once you reach your goal, your ideal, everything is ended. Then afterwards you have to inquire how to die decently. Because you have finished. Everything has been done. Never should you reach the goal. Keep the goal high. Don't say that it's an impractical method. No. Because reaching the goal is not the goal. Striving to reach there is the goal. Try to reach out to the goal. You grow day by day, week by week. Buddhau sharanamandvecha. Karpana phalaketava. Those who are seeking only the halal result and wanting only that you sweat and toil only to get something. They are Kirpana. Kirpana meaning myself. Myself means. Myself is a guy who has got the money in his pocket, but he doesn't want to, even though very hungry, he doesn't want to eat. He goes in front of the restaurant and smells the various food because that is free. Why do you want to eat if you are hungry? Look, it's a new note, $20. If I eat, I have to break it. No. Well, to spend the money is painful. Therefore you keep it and drink the cold water from the local tap. Well, anyway I am going in the evening the use of it. This is called a miser. The miser is one who has the ability, capacity, and yet he will not use it because he doesn't want to give up that little, that money or that what we have got. There is a wonderful chance of living your life in inspired enthusiasm at all times at a peak. And yet you and I will not do that. Why? Because of our attachment to the ego and selfish desire. And make a mess of our life. You are Chinmaya. Okay? When you are inspired and working, you won't know the exhaustion of work. Doctors will have to take ECG to understand whether I am overstreaked or not. You ask me, I am never overstreaked. Why? I have been inspired in this work that I am doing. Anybody who is inspired, they don't care with worries and anxiety. In our own homes, when they are married, I tell you, the ladies work day and day with over enthusiasm. And when the marriage is over and the girl has walked away, you find everybody collapsing in wherever they are standing. For 3 days they would get up. Neighbors will have to come and clean it. How is it that at the age AM you collapse? But till age AM you are all enthusiastic. That is because the shadi, the marriage, and that girl is now gone. Inspired work, you work, but you will not know the exhaustion of the fatigue. Tirelessly you work when you are inspired. Buddhist Gupta. Come on.
Gurudev's heart is working 16% when this talk is being given. This is the power of inspiration. How do you do it? So the idea is not that you should not reach your goal. The idea is the goal must be so inspiring, so high, and the best will come out. That is the job. So for today we stop here. Wish you all a very, very happy Guru Purnima, and may the grace of the entire Guru Parampara be on each one of us and on our families, and may we attain happiness, success, prosperity and fulfillment by the grace. We have a small prasad for you, and that is, there's a book of Gurudev called At Every Breath a Teaching that has lots of anecdotes of Gurudev of how he lived spiritually. So a small excerpt from that is some anecdotes which have been compiled on the topic of love, that how he used to be loving in all his interactions. So as we complete, you can come and take this person. We have the padukas of Gurudev there. These are the padukas worn by him. And these padukas represent the knowledge in which the master is established. So in our culture, when the master is there, we worship the feet of the master. Pada puja is done. When the master is not there in the physical form, then we worship the padukas. So they represent the knowledge, they represent the values in which the master is rooted and established. So if you like, you can go there, offer some flowers, and then come here and take the prasad. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. So some of you are new. You have those forms still? Not yet? Okay. If you want to be on the database and SMS list, then please give your name